Hello again. Well, I just caught up with a Shepherd Smith, and he did a walkthrough as to what was on that horrific 22-minute video about the execution of the Jordanian pilot. And towards the end of his presentation, he said that, like George Bush said, Islam is a religion of peace. These horrific acts are not from Islam. Well, I got a couple of questions. Maybe somebody could clarify this for me. If Islam is a religion of peace, why does the Koran call for the beheading of infidels? If Islam is a religion of peace, why does the Koran call to chop off the hands and the feet of non-believers? If Islam is a religion of peace, why did they just slaughter a Jordanian Muslim? This whole thing is insane. How can Islam be a religion of peace if the Quran calls for the beheading of all non-believers? What kind of religion of peace would call for that? I don't understand how they make that connection. I don't understand George W. Bush having made that statement right after 9/11. Islam is not a religion of peace. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a cult. And it has millions upon millions of followers. There's a great deal of pressure for Jordan to drop out of the coalition against ISIL. Shepherd Smith said that the Jordanian pilot spoke, and obviously he was reading what he was ordered to read, but the pilot couldn't understand why the Jordanians are turning against ISIL when they're Islamic, when they themselves are Islamic. You can't differentiate the two. It doesn't work. Islam cannot be anything other than what it is. It's an evil, twisted, demented cult. That's what I think. And how can anyone think otherwise? Shepherd Smith also said that the king of Jordan will execute that woman that ISIL initially wanted to trade, or said they wanted to trade for the release of the F-16 pilot. But ISIL was just playing with the world. According to Jordan, they had executed this pilot on the 3rd of January. Yet they were talking about doing a trade, and Jordan insisted on proof that their pilot was still alive. Well, they never got the proof, because the pilot has been dead for a month. How can anyone in their right mind consider Islam to be anything other than an evil, twisted cult? You have to feel sorry for those that are moderates. What are they missing? What is it that the terrorists get out of the Quran that the moderates don't, when they both study the same holy scriptures? Does it come back to interpretation? I don't know. But stop giving me this bullshit that Islam is a peaceful and loving religion. It's not a religion, it's a cult, and it's evil. And anyone that adheres to it, that follows it, has to understand that that's exactly what it is. That's sort of what I think. We'll see what King Abdullah does. He's got tremendous pressure, once again, to leave the coalition. He also has tremendous pressure to seek revenge on the pilot that was slaughtered. Worse than an animal. You don't burn animals that are alive to death. These ISIL terrorists are subhuman, and they need to be exterminated. There is no other option. Problem is, what's hiding in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? He's never going to be able to put those two words together. Islamic extremists. Islamic terrorists. Those words don't compute in his crack-filled, mentally deranged mind. That's what I think. So what do you think? You think Islam is like Hillary Rodham Clinton says it is? A peaceful and loving religion? Or is it what it's proven to be? A barbaric, inhumane, evil, twisted, demented cult that has no regard for anyone's human life, including their own.